Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and today I'm going to be playing Aleph Null. Let's get rolling. Alright, so I'm all set up to play a game of Aleph Null. Backstory on this, if you've been watching the channel, you know I'm a fan of Lux Eterna. And so I showed it to somebody the other day on a Friday, and they called me up on Sunday, so just 2 days later, and they had gone out and purchased a copy of Aleph Null, which is by the same game designer and same artist as well. So that they teamed up again after Lux Eterna and did Aleph Null. So it's another solo-only game. The theme is quite a bit different. We're going to be summoning a demon if we can. And the first time I played it, I found it incredibly difficult. I didn't know. I couldn't wrap my head around it, but I've played, I think this will be my 5th game now. And I've really come to enjoy it. I like it. I like it a lot. So without further ado, let's get going. This won't be a rules explainer, just a regular solo playthrough. Let's turn to this first page. I'm going to continue to play on this first level of difficulty, the Circle of the Adept. So my interference cards here, they're shuffled, but they're all 1s and 2s. I won't be using any of the 3s. I don't feel like I'm ready for that yet. So I'll just shuffle this at the beginning of each round as needed and put a random card in the deck. So we are on the first hour. I'll give this one more quick shuffle, just so you can see it's random. And I take the first 5 cards off the top. So this will be my deck. I think I've got it set up the way the instructions tell you to. So my deck is here. My discard will be here, and my sacrificed cards will be on the left. So let's see what we've got. All right. So right away, I'm going to summon the 2 Tanists, and I will scrap them both to get 2 total virtual magic. I think it's called magic. I don't know if it's mana maybe. And I'll use that to summon the Weeping Tree. So really what I'm trying to do here is anything that can be scrapped for magic, try and get it back into the discard, and everything else possible that's not like a key, for the most part, try and get it summoned to get it out of play. So I can't do anything with the mirror or the sacrificial lamb, so they go back into the discard pile, and now I get 5 new cards. Two salamanders, a wax candle, lodestone, and golem. So I will definitely summon the wax candle. I have to sacrifice a Tannis to get the golem into play. And I could technically get the salamanders, either one, by scrapping the wax candle and sacrificing the weeping tree. But I want to use its ability later, I think. It's a little early for it. So I'm not going to do that. All of these will go into discard. Not a super productive first couple hands, but that's okay. What's next? Grand Circle. I know we don't want that. We've got another wax candle to summon and the Wealthy Tannist. And I can go ahead and scrap, let's say, a wax candle to summon Vitriol. I definitely don't want to do anything with the Grand Circle at this point, and I cannot afford the Devil in the Hearth. That's sort of a late game one for me, but I don't know if I play super well. Okay, another wax candle. Let's get that. What do I want to do here? Maybe I'll use the Weeping Tree now. I'm going to sacrifice the Weeping Tree. I'm going to gain 1 magic and sacrifice 1 card from my hand, and it's going to be the Chasuble. And I have no idea if I'm pronouncing any of this correctly. These are difficult words that I'm not familiar with. So I sacrificed that, which I typically do because it's so expensive. And then the other piece was I gained 1 magic. So I've got 1 magic, and I'll use that magic to summon the deck of cards. Let me keep Vitriol next to a wax candle because those sort of go together. And I'll I'll scrap Wealthy Tannist and the wax candle. So I've got 2 magic, and I'll use that to summon Circle of Protection. And then I'll go ahead and scrap Book of Pacts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. There's Octoy. The very first time I played, I had Octoy in the first hand and just had to discard the first hand. I was like, this game is BS. All right, so I will scrap the wax candle so that I can summon Octoy, which I must do. And at least I've got a Tannist out there that I can sacrifice if I need to. I'll summon this wax candle and the bowline. And let's scrap the bowline to summon the bell. And we are not ready for Baphomet yet. So we'll go ahead and scrap that. I did go on Wikipedia and start digging around on this game, and I guess it's based off of a duology of books from the 60s or something that sound super interesting. I don't know if I'll actually go and read them, but I don't know if they're still in print, actually. That's a good question. But the summary on Wikipedia was at least interesting. It would be fun, I think, to read them and then just see what the commonalities are between this game and the source material. Okay, those are shuffled. So I had 3 left over, 4, 5. So we're in the second hour. I'm playing on the easiest difficulty, so no interference added to the deck. Exorcised Water, Besom, Wand of Power, Devil on the Hearth, and Book of Pacts. Let's sacrifice the deck of cards. It's not doing anything for me, so I draw 1 card and then discard 2 cards. And we can just discard these keys. So I'm not using them right now, right? Golem. You gotta pay 2 magic for the Golem. Well, I guess the best I can do is scrap the wax candle for 1 magic to summon the Besom. Better than nothing, I suppose. Let's summon the Learned Tannist. Can't even get the Salamander into play. That stinks. I guess that's it. I'm not playing very efficiently. I'll blame the randomness of the shuffle. All right, well, summon a couple of wax candles, a bowline, and Mother Shipton. I certainly won't be summoning the Grand Circle, not least of which because I don't have the Lodestone. So I guess that's it. Discard. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we need to shuffle this, and you'll just have to trust that I'm going to do this part without looking, but I'm going to shuffle these a little bit, and they were mixed up already. Grab a random one, put it there, just do that, and now shuffle these again without looking to the best of my ability. Okay, now I can put that back. Continue to not look because I don't know what level interference card is in here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need 1 more. 5. And we are now in the 3rd hour. So we gain 1 magical power here. What do I have? Okay, I can summon 2 more wax candles and the wealthy tannist. Decent shape. Let's scrap the bowline for 1. 2 wax candles. And the learned tannist. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 magical power. And spend this one. So 5. And then I can summon the salamander and the sacrificial lamb. Oh, we're getting somewhere. I'll put my tannists over here, I guess. Octoy. Okay, that looks better. Do I want to do anything else while I'm here? I can put one of these back into my hand. Would it be good to have the tannist? Or the bowline, maybe? Could be helpful to have the bowline, I think. So I'm going to scrap a wax candle so that I can pay 1 to sacrifice the besom and put 1 card from the discard pile into your hand or on top of the deck. I'll put it into my hand and then I will summon it. So now the besom is gone. So that just gives me the ability to get more magical power if I need it. 1, 2, 3, level 2, 4, 5, level 2 interruption. It's the Angel's Feather. So you must summon this card. And the little sword says, only if this was in play, shuffle the discard pile into the deck and advance the hour when this is sacrificed. Okay. I can get the mirror or exercised water. They're both 2. I can probably get the wand of power. Sacrifice 3 tannists. 1 tannist. 2, 3. I don't think I need the wand of power yet. Let's keep the tannist so I have more to scrap. In fact, let's scrap these 2 tannists, which will give me 2. Scrap a wax candle and a bowline, so that gets me up to 4. And now I can summon the exercised water and the mirror. The mirror, I always forget about its effect the first time I need it. The exercised water, I can sacrifice 1 card in the discard pile. Is there anything in there I want to get rid of? Not really, no, that's all good stuff. So I'm going to discard the Wand of Power and the Grand Circle. Let's get 5 more. Okay. Big stuff here. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to scrap the Salamander and the Sacrificial Lamb to give me 5 magical power. And I'll use 3 of the 5 to summon the Book of Pacts. And I'll use the other 2 to summon the Golem, which also requires that I sacrifice a Tannist, and that'll be Octoy. So now the Golem is in play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now I'm out of magical power, and I guess that's where I want it. So now what? Do I want to use the exercised water? Like now seems like a time that makes sense. Not really, though. I'll probably use it later. And there's only 1 card left. It's got to be Baphomet. Right? Yeah, 1 card left. So there's no reason to use the bell. I think I'm going to use Circle of Protection now. And I'm going to sacrifice it to then sacrifice one interference, and that's this one. So those are gone. Oh no, but that'll trigger the mirror. Don't want to do that. Can I sacrifice something else? And that stinks. This would be a perfect time to discard Angel's Feather, but mirror would mess that up. So I guess I'm just going to discard these three. Now I get Baphomet, and then advance the hour. So again, there'll be a magical power here. I need to shuffle these up. And without looking, I need to add one of these. So give them a little quick shuffle. Put one there. Put it somewhere in the middle so I can put this back. Shuffle them up. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some keys. Let's bring the bowline in. I guess the only thing that makes sense is to sacrifice the bowline for 2 magical power. And so instead, I sacrifice the mirror. And then with that 2 magical power, I summon the salamander. And these 3 are going to be discarded. So 2 keys and Baphomet. Grand Circle, Wand of Power. Oh, and I've got the last key here. So there's no keys. So that's helpful. That's pretty safe. So draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No interference. So 2 wax candles and a TNS will summon those. I think let's use Vitriol now. So it says scrap 1 wax candle and take Vitriol into your hand. Draw 2 cards. So I scrap 1 wax candle, but because the hour is 4, I sacrifice it instead. So I've got 1 magic, draw 2 cards, another wax candle, and the sacrificial lamb. Okay, so we'll summon the wax candle. At the end of this turn, sacrifice your hand instead of discarding it. And I think that works pretty good. I'm going to sacrifice Salamander for 3. And this wax candle for 4. And use the 4 to summon the lodestone. I've got to do that. And now I'm going to sacrifice the bowline and a wax candle for 3. And spend this one for a 4th. And now I can summon the devil in the hearth. And now, this Tanist is just over here. These 2 I'm just going to discard, but because of Vitriol, I sacrifice my hand. So the sacrificial lamb is gone. That saves me 1 magic. Okay, I've got to have that interference coming up. That was the last one. Okay, let's see. Tanist, wax candle, salamander, and reliquary. When summoned, put all artifacts in hand. I don't have any. Face down under reliquary. They're considered out of play. And then when the reliquary is sacrificed, return all cards under reliquary to your hand. All right. So that doesn't do much. That was fortunate. So let's summon this last wax candle and Mother Shipton and the wealthy Tanist. And I've got the salamander in hand. Now what do I want to do? All right, I'm going to scrap a wax candle and one of these Tanists. And the wax candle, when it's scrapped, is sacrificed because of the hour. This goes here. And so that 2 magical power allows me to summon the salamander. Now I'm going to sacrifice exercised water to sacrifice 1 card in the discard pile. And that will be this one, sacrificed. And the effect is, look at the top 3 cards of the deck, then draw 1, discard 1, and sacrifice 1. There is no deck, so I can ignore that. Now I will use Circle of Protection. I will sacrifice this to sacrifice Angel's Feather. And if this card was in play, shuffle the discard pile into the deck and advance the hour, which I would have to do now anyway. So shuffle this, and we have to add one more interference as we go into hour 5. And I don't really need to shuffle, so this goes here. Looks like it's a level 1. So this is my hand. When summoned, and I must summon the ossuary, gain 1 magic for each sacrificed Tanist. Let's see what's been sacrificed. That's not a Tanist I've got. 1. 2. 2. So I just gained 2 magical energy. It's not the end of the world. In fact, I think I've got more energy than I need. Let's spend 1 to sacrifice the bell, and I can't perform the bottom part. I can't name a card and then reveal cards from the deck until it's in my hand. So that one's just gone. So I spent 1. I don't really have a place to spend the second. So let's go ahead and summon the Wand of Power by sacrificing 3 Tanists, preventing all of their effects. So these 3 Tanists, there they go. I still have 1 magical power. Let's, I guess, sacrifice the Devil in the Hearth for 5 and then spend that 6 magical power I have to sacrifice the Lodestone, and that summons the Grand Circle. So I've got a couple of keys. I've got all the keys. And I'm just going to sacrifice a Salamander. So I've got 3 magic plus this. I think that's it. Now I'm going to sacrifice the 3 keys to summon Baphomet. So I had 2 cards here. It's not the end of the hour. It's just the end of the game. So all that virtual magic shouldn't have any effect, and neither should this. So I'm on hour 5. There was 1 hour left. So if I go ahead and look at the score, 1 point plus 2 for each hour left, so I'm up to 3 points. And then I have all my health, so 4, 5, 6 points, minus 1 for each card left by 4. Is that what I was at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4. And that's it, 4 points. So that would put me at a master. So the first time I played, like I said, I lost, and then I scored a 2. I don't remember my third game. It probably was a 4. I scored a 7 on my last game, which I felt pretty good about, and now a 4 again. So I should probably try the level 3 interference cards, but this was really cool. I don't play a lot of deck builders. I saw this one described as a deck destroyer because you're trying to empty your deck rather than grow it, but I think it uses a lot of the same principles. So it's quick and interesting with a little bit of variety, but I think it's an interesting entry into that type of game. The other thing I'll say is that if you haven't played it, the other thing that makes it difficult is you really need to know what cards are in the deck. You kind of need to know what the keys are and what the requirements are. In fact, the first time I played when I lost is because I needed to summon Wand of Power, sacrifice 3 Tanists, and I didn't really know that was a thing, so I'd already sacrificed too many Tanists, and there weren't enough left in the deck. Like, I didn't know how many Tanists there were to begin with. So having some knowledge of the cards that are in the deck is pretty important if you want to win. But that is Aleph Null, and I recommend it. I really like it. Not that I do recommendations on this channel, and in fact, I don't even own this. I borrowed it, but it's still super cool, and I'm glad I got to play it. So hopefully you enjoyed it. If you've got any notes, strategy-wise, if I made any mistakes, if you've got any questions, whatever you got, let me know in the comments. And if you're still here, please feel free to subscribe and like. I always appreciate that very much. So that's what I've got this time on Table for One, and I hope you have an awesome week. I'll see you next time.